Consumers across America are speaking out and voicing their opinions about what's important to them when selecting a doctor or even a hospital. The opinions are part of a new survey coinciding with the release of Healthgrade's 2013 National Hospital Performance Report. Dr. Arshel Giorgio joins us with more on both the survey and the performance of low-country hospitals. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Can you tell us what were some of the key findings from the study?
Well, the consumer survey looked at 7,600 Americans across the country and asked them a question: how they pick their doctors and their hospitals. And what we found is that people are spending more time selecting and researching their next refrigerator, their mobile cell phone plan, than they are researching the next doctor and hospital that's going to deliver their care. In fact, an overwhelming number of Americans, over 80%, said that the location of the doctor or hospital was just as important as the mortality rate. Sort of crazy.
Yes, I believe that. I understand it too. At the same time, this consumer survey was released. The 2013 National Hospital Performance Report was unveiled. And what were the significant findings in that report?
Well, the report looked at 4,500 hospitals across America and evaluated them based on 28 conditions, their death rate, their complication rate, and there was a lot of variation across states and across communities. Let me give you some examples for South Carolina and Charleston, South Carolina specifically. The Medical University of South Carolina is a 5-star hospital. They performed very well. There are other 5-star hospitals in the area, but there are also 1-star hospitals that are performing less well in that same area. And how does this translate into a care difference? Let's take an example of stroke. There are 7 hospitals in the Charleston area that were evaluated for stroke, and the inpatient death rate ranged from 3% all the way up to 9%. So if you or a family member or a loved one was having a stroke, wouldn't you want to know in advance where they were going to have the best outcome? That's what kind of information the research can help you find.
Absolutely. That's some really great information. But what's the final takeaway for consumers as they review the reports?
The key takeaway is that doctors and hospitals are not created equal. There's a lot of variation across communities and across conditions. And so it's important to do your research before you become a patient. You can go to healthgrades.com. I'm partnering with them on this effort. And all of the information that we've talked about here today, as well as much more detail, is available online for free.
Oh, so you mean right there at healthgrades.com that they would be able to find out how well the hospitals did here in the Low Country in South Carolina?
Yes, they can find out about all of the hospitals in the Charleston area, throughout the state, and across the country.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Giorgio, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great information.
Thank you.
Keep it right here from More Low Country Live. We'll be right back.